one site 6'5", the other one 6'3".
Well, yeah.
Three, what, 5'9", 5'10"?
So we'll have some height.
Big Japanese.
Okay.
That's not bad, you know.
Whatever, it's gonna.
Somebody's got to reach the
She really don't know what I did. Some Nick can go to.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's like 6:04, we'll give just 5 more minutes, if you don't mind.
Yeah, wait till we get
Thank y'all for coming.
yeah, wait till we get the
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's why this song is started.
Big focus.
Same people every time.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing I get from this is that, and guys all get it, these are people who care. And another one. Yay!
So we gotta wait for 4 more people.
You're not gonna go to her, When are we gonna open the pool? We have inspection scheduled for next Wednesday. If we pass it, that's no reason to open it up that same weekend, the next weekend. But I don't want to say that because we had an inspection and, you know, they have to say everything is fine, the health department. Inspection scheduled for next Wednesday. Yes. And if it passes, we should know by Thursday, and I see no reason if anybody. Well, they check a bunch of things. They check more things than.
They check call, electrical, they check the.
Yeah, you know those things. You know those things. Aside from all those things, it's other practical things, like if that ring and the cord isn't the right length, they will fail. If the catch basins aren't the right, you know, the phone on the wall, the emergency phone, if he picks up and he doesn't get the police right away, we fail. And there's a bunch of other things, like the pole on the
Grabber pole.
Yeah, the grabber pole and the basket thing, if it has a hole in it. And we learn all this by experience, having zero experience. It's like, why? Gotta go and buy things. So this is such a learning experience. It really is. It's really.
No, that thing's wide. So right
This year, there were more. They added new requirements, something to do with the drain, something with drain, valve and drain. I don't even remember, but it was a new thing that was added just for 2026. You had to have the CPO replace them. Yeah, you know, which came at a cost, obviously. Because he knew that about the new requirement, and he knew that we wouldn't pass if those things weren't taken care of.
After being up there, senior tech, fiance. Yeah. So I worked 2 years. And I asked him something. Well, yeah, so Sean now is the old job and the new job. So then, Sean, you know, then I get to the day for it. What's up down the central world? So we still doing now. I'll just find out more.
And you can try to see if that's what I think it's Richard is once
They like always like
172. Richard Southern.
Oh, 172.
Say one more time.
I see what you guys.
Wednesday's at 172. Was that the guy with the grass on?
Oh, no, no, no.
Yeah.
No, so it wouldn't be 72, it would be, it would be on the other side, just.
You're so helpful right now.
His first name does have some great ritual.
Okay. What's wrong with the slide?
It has a crack on the bottom. Yeah,
And it's like a,
yeah,
like when you push down on it, it falls in. Oh, okay.
yeah,
I never looked, I just seen up, oh.
yeah, so that's, the entire structure has to be changed out because you can't just replace one component.
Yeah.
And which is something Heather will be, talking about later on. And
What happened with the sinkholes?
what happens to them?
Yeah, how did they get fixed?
Call the county. The county has an obligation.
And the county says, call Comcast. Comcast says, call county. They fight back and forth and nobody ever fixed
Okay,
the sinkhole right next door between my house and, 188.
Get with me after this and I'll give you the link and then you put in a request. I have sinkhole issues.
Yeah.
You'll put in a request and you'll put in a request yourself and they'll come out and knock
You-
it out.
and that goes to the county,
Someone
right?
came out
Correct.
last
It is-
year.
Well,
and said-
he said he's been through the county already.
Well, I mean, they'll knock it out. They'll come out. And depends on who it is. Basically,
Well,
most of the sinkhole going out is
Yes.
drainage.
Well, ours, Comcast was actually.
Oh, 71?
When
Yeah.
then the county-
Because what happened is they came in and dug a new line for one of the
You're so
houses,
far off.
Yeah.
not my house, another house. And when they did that, the sinkhole appeared after that.
Yeah, but.
Now, there was always a
They live in
small part of
California.
sinkhole, but when they.
Yeah,
they got
I
worse.
used to
Okay,
hear.
so that there, the county would they take care of
But
it.
I had a chance to houses and.
So all the drainage piping system and stuff, the county takes care of it.
Right, they said Comcast, I said, you know, that Comcast says no.
All they did was
take
put
care of
dirt in it, and we keep having to put dirt in it, because it just, it's bigger and bigger, it's getting bigger and bigger.
Give me let me see if I can reach out to someone at the county and see if they can figure stuff out.
But that,
Can you wake it up?
whatever that thing is, I don't know if it's electrical or whatever, what is that?
That's Comcast.
Is it,
that
con-
box.
is it?
Thank you.
It's like the. It's about to sink into the hole.
All right, it's 6:11, so we go ahead and get started. Happy spring, y'all. Y'all look very springy. You know, my phone could be. Mhm. All right, call to order and opening remarks. I have to look at this phone because otherwise I go off talking about stuff I ain't got no business talking about. My name is Mitch. Some of y'all know me. If you don't know me, my name is Mitch. Other board members present: Jorge, Heather, Lisa, and Alicia. Or I knew your name. It's been 12 months, almost to the date, since the last time we did this, and it's been an interesting 12 months in many ways. I'm sure you guys would agree. So I just want to ask, are we still good? In 12 months, y'all don't call, you all right? You won't answer our contact. That's not what's written here, but I went off track already. All right, jump right in. So what we've been doing the past 12 months is just trying to keep the neighborhood and infrastructure functioning. You know, we've been busy with a few projects. Our pool, we were just talking about the pool, it's over 20 years old and it's showing its age. Most of the money we spend, most of the money you guys send us, it goes to the maintenance of this situation right here because it's so old. Each year there's a major expense that shows up. There was one time they had to get a valve open so they can clean out the sand filter. Teddy remembers, right? And it was a big fiasco. Couldn't figure out who could do it, and you know, we learned a lot of things. And my point is, most of the money that we spend goes into this pool. Last year, the light bulbs went out, and it caused obviously an unsafe situation because one of them shines over there, and we had to hire an electrician to come and change them out. But he had to rent a scissor lift to drive in here to get up there to change them out. We could have gone with the same kind, but we paid extra for LED fixtures, you know, to future proof that. And I can't remember what it cost, but it was over $2,000. A lot of money gets spent here. Let's see, we had to clean up the perimeter of the pond, which is something that should happen regularly. Only got one complaint from one nature-loving homeowner. It was a real tough decision to be sensitive to what she was complaining about while knowing, you know, at the same time thinking, you know, she's more concerned with the fauna to have cover to protect them in their natural habitat and disturbing that, you know, nature's order, you know, and how sad it is. And she's telling me how she had to take one of the geese to a veterinarian because its leg wasn't right. And anyway.
Well, I think it was also because of bank stabilization. Because when you start to cut down the vegetation, the pond too low, and you can see it really well over there, you start to get subsidence. And you know, you can see it like in most yards around the bank. So that was part of the concern as well of hers. That and you know, there's actually a lot of natural wetland. Not so much around here. There's more grass.
Can you pause for 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
I think more people need to hear this. You sound like you know what you.
Yeah.
Do you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
is this working? Okay. I was talking about the pond and specifically, you know, when I think it's the lake doctor, whoever comes and cuts it down.
Yes.
So you can see on the far side over there, you've had a lot of subsidence, you've had a lot of soil erosion. This is part of what I do for a living. So, when you start to cut down too much vegetation, that's going to happen all the way around. And I've seen it in my neighbor's yard, my yard, not as much my yard because I have trees right up against the pond. But you also have some natural wetland plants, which are natural filters for our pond. You know what I mean? It's stormwater. It picks up all kinds of stuff. So that actually helps to filter out a lot of the volatiles, if you will, petroleum volatiles, all kinds of different things. That, and obviously it's supportive of our natural wildlife. We actually, for a while, had an otter in the pond. I don't know if you guys saw him. Yeah, it was awesome. That's awesome because actually North American otters don't tend to frolic around in dirty waters. So we must be doing something relatively okay. So I just want them to be conscious of when they're cutting around. The gal who said something.
You guys hear me okay?
Yeah, it's for the grant.
Oh, okay. When the gal said something, they had come up, unfortunately, about 10 to 15 feet more than they needed to. So it came into a be more of a sort of happy medium in here where we can not completely take out sort of
Stabilizing.
vegetation and also the good it does. Thank you.
Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for explaining that. And, you know, I guess, you know, for a lot of people who do complain about it, part of the issue is they remember the time when you could walk around the pond
Yeah.
and actually the developers promised a walking trail, but it never materialized. But people used to four-wheel around the pond. So I guess that memory is hard to shake. It looks like, to them, it looks like, well, this is neglect. What is this HOA doing so we get beat up? Right.
It's
So-
tough because it's a bit of a balance. And I mean, as someone who lives on the pond, I'd rather people not walk around the pond, but I
Exactly.
understand how the
Yeah.
rest of the neighborhood. would
Yeah.
want to, but it's a critical balance. And
Sure
I
it
think especially for the the bank stabilization. It's really important that they're conscious of that.
Well said. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Well said.
Thanks for letting us.
No, it's, you should, you sound like, I mean, you know what you're talking about. I just know stuff I see on YouTube, so. So speaking of the pond, because the pond has been, in recent years, been showing serious string algae, and it looks nasty, it looks like, no one cares. So we hired lake doctors, to your point, to come and treat it with the, whatever state certified chemicals, which is safe for the nature, to keep that algae down, because it looks horrible, and it's a hindrance to fishing when that stuff gets on your tackle and everything else. What else have we been doing? So we had to go into a contract with lake doctors, which is an expense we never used to have before, but now we do. When the Quaco Road extension or expansion begun, we thought we could get by with just waiting for them to get done. They said 2026 it would be done, but look what's going on. So we didn't bother with trying to put, replacements. So we installed those 2 temporaries. What else? The fishing dock last year, when it started really getting bad, we had a contractor come and replace a few boards. And he said, listen, that one's gonna go, that one's gonna go, and you guys can nickel and dime yourself by replacing each board by board, but the whole thing needs to go. It's also over 20 years old, and it's wood. It served its purpose well. It was so bad, you guys may have seen when it was wrapped up, it's so bad that if somebody wasn't looking, and their whole entire leg could go through the floorboard up to the waist, up to your thigh. And so we had to get on that right away and replace it. It just kept getting worse and worse. What else have we done? Maybe some other things that I'm not thinking about, but we're more expensive now because of the age of the things in the neighborhood than we were 10 years ago. And this is not my business, this is Heather's business, but as a preamble, I want to say that everything has gone up in the last 12 months. It's gone up in the last 5 years, 10 years. But what we contribute as homeowners hasn't changed. And anyway, I'm going to turn this over to Heather, who handles the treasury function of what we're doing here. She's going to talk about the 2026 budget and 2026 projects and finance discussion. Thank you very much.
All right, so everybody received a copy of the 2026 budget and also has our 2025 spending as well. So a lot of what we do in the budget is try to figure out what projects do we have and where do we need to fund that from. We try to fund as much from the bank account and dues as possible so that we can leave the reserves for the bigger projects. Like the pool, when Jorge can speak to what needs to be done on the pool, but the pool needs some pretty major renovations. That's going to cost between $16,000 and $20,000. The dock itself is costing around $9,000. Including destruction and building. We can raise dues 10%, which would be the $478.50. So 43.50 would be a 10% raise. And I was just looking at the consumer price index, and if you take like I think 2007 is kind of when everything started. If you were getting $435 back then, you would be the same. $435 then is $700 now. So like we should definitely be paying more to maintain what we have. But nobody wants to do that. We have been fighting this for so long, having so many discussions and trying everything possible to not raise dues because everybody is hitting me hard. I know it's hitting families hard, but so we have in our budget, we did budget out $20,000 for capital improvement. So that will include the dock. And we can partially, because we had to put the dock in there, we're going to have to partially fund the pool from the capital reserves. which we do have on your next page, we do have the, what is it? We have $45,131.78 in our reserve. So that's the money market account is what we have in reserve. So, and to try to keep money in there because of big, things come up all the time. Things break. We have big fixes at the pool. We have signs we have to build. The playground needs to be, that's another one. The playground needs to be completely replaced. And in doing so, we also would need to do the floor of the playground as well. It has to be a certain grade for a public commercial playground. You could do rubber mulch, which would potentially be a problem with it getting into the lake. So I don't think that would be a great idea, the wind and everything knocking it. So we would have to do the poured rubber. That's tens of thousands of dollars plus tens of thousands of dollars for a playground.
Support rubber, that's what's there.
Yeah, so we'd have to redo that and have have a new playground built. So that is another major expense that we're coming up with, everything being 20 years old. So we can't raise the dues more than 10% without 2/3 of the entire neighborhood voting yes on that, which I really don't want to get. So we're moving to raise it 10%, and we might have to do that 10% a year until we get to a better point where we can save money, cover our bills, and save money. Because right now we're covering our bills. We get a little tight towards the end of the year where we can't maybe take on more projects. We might have to push fixing something until the next year. With what we have right now, if everybody paying $435. A lot of the problem is not everybody pays. We have in outstanding balances, we have $113,227.17 in outstanding dues. And that's where, if everybody paid, we would be set. We could do anything. We could have the bangest playground ever and the size of the pool, and
Yeah, it
it's all a lot of
take away all
fun.
of our headaches.
Take care of everything.
That we can do.
And the lawyers have not been able to.
No, I'm sending out, I think, 8 more people for collections. We wait for 2 years. They get a letter warning. They can either set up a payment plan or start paying. And then if they don't respond, they get sent to collections. But unfortunately, that takes time. And then a lot of people have to go through warning of suits, and they have to respond, and then they have to go to court, and then you have to get a garnishment set up or a payment plan set up. And all of that takes time. So the collections game is a long game, unless somebody refinances their house, and then we can get the chunk. I don't know if anybody who's refinancing with these interest rates. So it's a long game, but we do pull in. I think last year we pulled in $12,150 in collections income, which is better than nothing. We weren't getting much with the previous attorney. This attorney they're very good. They go after people because they don't get paid unless we get paid. So they take 35% of what we bring in, and they are very good. They do association representation. They do collections. They do a lot of things. They can help us with revising our covenants, and we've worked with them on that. So they do a lot of different things. So they're a good investment. But the problem is we have a lot of people out here that don't pay for whatever reason, and we can't do as much without putting the burden on everybody else who does pay. That's kind of a problem. The burden comes to us. We do show up, we do pay, and does anybody have any questions about the budget or any financial questions?
How many houses do we got?
191.
And how many people are not paying, or, well, it's lower people paying, so how many people paying?
As of paid up, I think we have. We have 100 paid and 91 not paid.
At least it's more than 50%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Half of us give a damn.
Yeah, have the people do their thing. Yeah, do what we're supposed to do.
So nobody pay a lot anyway, so.
No.
Doing a payment plan, shouldn't be the issue, but I don't understand
If everybody
everybody.
was.
Right. And I'm understanding of situations. I try to give people like, how much can you pay? How long do you need? I've had people call because they're in a health situation. They can't work. Okay, we'll talk in 3 months and see where you're at. Like, we're not heartless, but also we got bills and we have things that need to be done to maintain the association and maintain the neighborhood and keep the grass cut and keep the pool going. Because this is what brings in dues. The pool. The pool is what makes people pay because they want to use it. That's how we get, as soon as the pool opens, we'll start getting more income because people want to come.
Yeah,
and use the pool.
people jump the fence and don't want to pay.
Yeah.
You get a lot of that here too. A lot of that, open the gate for me. No.
No, and so that is like,
Hey, you don't get in.
if you see that, the text us, if you don't feel comfortable calling, you can text, like you have the Google phone number, like, please let us know so that somebody can come in. Because if we don't know, if we don't see it, we can't really do much about it. And I don't want to put that, homeowners can definitely feel free to say something, but if you don't feel comfortable, that's something where the board needs to step in.
Can I say something?
Mhm.
And here's another thing to encourage you. 99% of the times that a homeowner has done that and we broadcast the video to, social media,
It's time for it now.
yeah, exactly.
Just wondered.
That's why I'm talking slow right now. Speech is slow.
Yeah, so that's something the board will have to look at doing is raising dues, probably be about 478.50, and then it might have to go up until we probably hit. I don't know, maybe 600 would be. I mean, I hate that, but I mean, just to get it to a point where we could, because we can't save money right now. That's the problem. Like, everything coming in is going out. We can't really save for these big things to pay cash for the playgrounds, like all of that. So
It's just too expensive. The stuff that's happening right now, like, she was talking about the pool, like, so I talked to a couple contractors. There's something called diamond bright on the bottom of this pool. That's why we get that black algae at times, or that black mold. The tile needs to be replaced. All of our skimmers need to be replaced. It's an expensive chunk of our change that will go into this pool. Another thing we gotta think about is when they do finish the signs, don't look. Sorry to finish.
no, you're good.
The signs coming up, the signs are gonna be expensive, 25K. We get new signs in, because, those are just temporary signs we have up now. And then the biggest expense is the playground. And it's not the actual playground itself. The playground itself, I found some out there for about 25 to 30K. It sounds like a lot, right? But it would be a much larger playground. The flooring. To make it commercial grade flooring, it's $35,000 to $40,000. So we're about $70,000 into a brand new playground. Basically, is what we're looking at. And that's the hardest pill to swallow. Because I thought the playground, we got the playground, and then finding out everything else to make it, legal for us. It's extremely expensive, and that was a hard one to hear.
How about regular mulch?
The problem with mulch is that it's so close to the lake. I worry about the kicking kids throwing mulch into the lake. Like,
So
I could see that being an issue. It could be like, rubber. It would have to be rubber mulch.
So even the rubber mulch, right? So it has to be a certain amount of distance from different locations. So basically, if we use rubber mulch, the playground would have to be 10 to 15 feet away from our fencing for safety reasons, because they can trip and hurt themselves. On top of that, it has to be a certain distance from our pond on the rubber mulch. And we are only saving anywhere between $500 to $7,500. It's really cheap. Buy once, cry once. That's basically how I'm looking at it. It's like, it sucks, but that would be the most expensive thing, is making it legal, because if not, we are liable to being sued by homeowners, of course, and stuff like that if something's not done correctly. Even our dock, we've made sure that we cross our I's and dot our T's with the dock. But even taking the guys out there for inspections, I was walking on dock and cracking that joke for myself. So, and they had massive holes, and I tried to patch up as much as we could, and we held off on dock as much as we could, but you know, everybody loves fishing off of it. I even fished off of it and like to walk on it. So that was more of a safety aspect that we needed to get done right away.
Yeah, cause we're gonna sue big time.
Yeah, the playground, yes, it stinks that we have the side closed at the moment, but. you
That's
know,
also a huge liability.
correct. We have to, we put, one of our homeowners brought up about the playground and we decided to tape it off to make sure. But, you know, kids play on it and we do feel for that as well. But then like we have to pick one or the other at the moment. Like,
Then you have some big kids that get in there and jump all over it.
correct.
I mean, you got some big kids, I have that, got on that slide, and I mean, we're talking 16, 17-year-old kids.
Yeah.
That's not designed for that size of child.
No, I mean,
I mean, that's looking,
12 and
to
below.
me, that's probably 12 and below,
Yeah.
basically.
yeah, and the biggest, like, now the hard part that, and it sucks, because you know, we would want to do all the upgrades we could. But now we're torn apart, like what do we put the money into at the moment? There's people saying that we need to put more into security for the area, in the neighborhood, and then, you know, then we would have to make funding, like, okay, are we gonna put money into the pool? Are we gonna put money into the playground? Or are we gonna put money into the sign? We can't do all three, we have to pick. And that's something that needs to.
That way we kind of want input on where should the priorities be of how we spend, spend the money.
We would love more input from the community, where it's your money. I mean, you're giving the HOA money for us to upkeep this stuff, right? Where do you want the money to go to? Not everybody wants it at the same place. But go ahead.
I have a question. Can you take a loan, can the HOA take a loan to, so obviously you have the pool, you have that the HOA do a loan for the,
Yeah,
for
that's,
the slide, because I think that's, I see the yellow tape on it, but I think it's somebody. I mean, I walk every single
I
day.
mean, I said. to
So
me,
I
I
see,
said-
like I see, the kid is just on the deck of the dock, it's not done. She sees the tape, but he is at a risk taking it, so he can. That was fine. So so basically,
Yeah.
I understand you don't have enough funds right away, but something that is a liability, I think sometimes it requires drastic measures, and in this case, taking a loan out so that we are not being sued for, although it would not be our mistake, if the HOA not being sued. It's, to me, a better risk to take than to let you get sued, because then you'll pay, not only do you still have to replace the playground, you have to pay whatever you get sued for. So I mean, if that's just kind of show, you have half of the residents not paying their dues and then having to go raise the prices for everyone else. I don't think that that's smart. I think long-term is looking at that, because you can make small enough. I know that you can get financing for playground equipment. You can get a loan, special loan for doing the rubber. And I think it's easier to make those small payments spread out over a series of years than raising the rate for everyone, knowing only half of the people are going to pay. That just doesn't make sense. I think you have to think, like you said, it's a long game. You have to think a long game.
So
Yeah.
none of the stuff I said, like the playground, is cash out. Like the only way we could afford it, and the only way we could afford the pool, the playground, is a monthly plan. And that's exactly what I've been looking at. But that's exactly what I've been looking at, but there's 7% interest rates for that. And then on top of that, we barely get by now that we put a monthly payment, right? That's going to be anywhere between $1,000 to $1,200.
Because how much did you
Say
say
$70,000
for the
complete overhaul.
with 7%?
7% interest rate at 10 years. The pool,
Y'all have taken care of that?
Not yet, no, that has not been done yet.
Okay, I was in the impression that it was.
No. We had to do some some small like repairs to get it up to code, up like to the new codes for 2026. So those have been done. But no, like the Diamond Bright and the pool has not been done. We've like, he's talked to the contractors, that's like 16 to 20K to do the Diamond Bright, which is probably well over past what it should have been done.
Yeah,
I just did the calculations. You said 70,000. If you add tack on a 7% interest, you're looking at $75,000. So you're looking at the extra $5,000 tacked on to the individual if it's a 7% increase. Spread it out over 5 years, which is 60 months. You're looking at a payment of $1,250. Is that so? You're saying the HOA in our monthly what we take in, we can't pay that in a month. I just
When I say we couldn't pay, it's just wanting to take into consideration all the parts of it. Of making sure that we're maintaining everything and factoring in, okay, now we have this new page. You know, it's like, and I'll have to like, put that in and look at the number. We'd have to put it in, look at the monthly numbers.
And that 5,000 you're saying, that's
per
per year.
year, it's not 1 year, it's
It's not 1 year.
7% per year, so basically for 35,000.
So it goes up another
25,000.
calculated
So
it.
we're at
10 years, then
105,000.
you're talking 50,000.
Which
Yeah,
makes
so we said
125.
5 years.
And that's coming in, is there a reason why? Is that mandatory that they have to do something with the playground there?
The slide is broke, like the slide has a large crack in it, and if you push down on it there, it does give. So it is safe, like a safety issue. And we've already had to remove, I don't know if they,
It's not possible to replace a piece.
to replace that piece.
I asked.
I mean, if,
It says, due to the age of it, only 20 years old.
Thank you. And did, an architectural committee that does the research according to the company?
We hardly have enough people to make the board.
For a meeting.
no, I wish we're supposed to have one, but
Just ask the question, you can back, just let me ask, I'm just trying to follow the company.
Okay.
If there's a reason why, I'm not here to, I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, we would love to have, let me answer, we would love to have one, but we just couldn't get it.
Yeah, because the problem is you have people in the community, they're reluctant to serve. But then there are individuals who do have the acumen to look into this. And like I'm listening, I hear sort of in one person. What are the other options? And where is the documentation to show what would be the better way to go? Documentation. So that someone will look at it, even if you have a meeting, I'm the documentation guy, let me see what the options are. So that I'm not just listening.
oh yeah, completely agree. I completely understand. I agree. And it's just most of the stuff is on phone calls instead of invoices.
Yeah,
And the thing is,
so,
we're spread thin. Like if you would love to volunteer and take on a project like this, I'd greatly appreciate it. And not just him. Anybody in the community, please help us out.
Yeah, we'll send a letter out. If I had time, to send a letter out, like you send letters out, sure. I would be willing to take a look and see, I'm sure others.
Yeah, I'll agree.
But
We
the
would
problem
agree.
is that, and this has been this way for a long time, homeowners got to feel like they have some, and they're reluctant, is the reason why. You're never gonna get full compliance with your fees that's in any homeowner association. These are the same problems that exist in every other homeowner association. But then again, sometimes it's up to the board to try to see, and I'm not saying you did, but if I would have received the letter, I would be asking the same questions, and I would make a determination if I wanted, or if I had time to look into whatever matter you have sent in the mail to.
We will definitely. I mean, not look into it, we definitely.
We had it on the website.
We did put it on the website. We did put it on. We have. We're trying to save trees, but we did put it on social media and stuff. for people to volunteer. The thing is, we had crickets.
Well, from social media, and it's always been that everybody, including myself.
But it was
Send
also-
something in the mail to me. I'm going to read it. If it comes from Willow, everybody doesn't do the social media. Some people are just, and I'm just telling you, if you're sending something out, sometimes you have to see if it's effective.
Yeah, definitely.
So if
We
you
can
send
send
out a
the
letter, usually when you guys send a letter out, I make a decision and, or at least I know
Mhm.
about what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't have time, I'm sure other people, some people go on, some people don't, so you probably have to use multiple, same thing the city does. And notifying people regarding different projects in the city. And I'm sure I've talked to some of the people here in the community, and some know because of the website, some know because of the conversation. But I was unaware. Another question, did we get a permit for building the deck?
Yes.
And if someone called me, I'm not asking what, do they have a permit?
Yes, we do have a permit for the deck. We do have everything. We cross our i's and dot our t's on the deck.
That way I can share, some people think, share that information.
Yeah, that's fine. No, the deck has a permit. Everything is correctly approved. And I know the individual was told to contact the lawyer for any further questions on that. So I have no issues on that at all. We are doing everything legal. That's why everything takes a little bit longer and it's a little bit more expensive. The thing is, like you said, we need to allocate our money, but you know, where are we gonna allocate our money? And I mean, I pay HOA dues like everybody else, and people want some things done, and I don't want that done. And I don't want my money to go there. No offense. I don't use the pool. Been here 11 years. I don't use the pool. You use it all the time, but I don't use the pool. I don't use the playground.
I don't either.
Well,
All I care, to be honest, all I care about is the damn signs.
Hey, y'all know, listen,
All I care about is signs. Yeah, and you don't use signs. But the thing is, we're all asking questions now, like, where do you want your money to go to? Because it's just, we don't have enough to go around. And I mean, none of us want to be here forever. A lot of us are stepping down. We don't want to be here, but we can't get enough people to freaking step up. And then, like you said, time. If you have the time, I don't even have the time. I have to make it. And then we ask people to make time, and they say, "Oh yeah, we have time. We have time." And then we have a meeting. Nobody shows up.
A lot of it has to do with the issue.
Well,
But that's-
People don't want us.
Nobody shows up.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, it's.
No offense, you guys show up.
You really don't even have a forum, right? So you really can't vote. But I'm just saying, it's the history of the HOA.
Forward.
Prior to you guys, but we've been here since 2005. This has always been, and the problem is people become have animus towards folks who are coming and ask questions, or because you don't see, it's no different than what you see in Congress or in the city. You're gonna have different factions in the community. People going to spread rumor mill about certain people. So, you know, this is the nature of the beast.
But we'll definitely send letters out, and of course, if you can look into it, or if you have time to look into it, if anybody has time to look into it, to any of the projects we're doing, and you guys, hey, word of mouth, you have a buddy, you have a friend, cut us a deal, you know, that would be freaking awesome. If we can save money anywhere, like anywhere, I am more than willing to save money everywhere. I would love for everything to be freaking tip top shape and perfect. It just, you know, money that we brought.
Well, I think you all have done a good job and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
definitely do appreciate you.
We try, but
The neighborhood looks good.
yeah, so I mean, those are the things that we gotta talk and we gotta come up with. I mean, the way we would have to do it is send letters out or make a big, you know, these are the 3 projects, please vote on these projects. I don't know how we're gonna do it, please vote. The ones that can vote, where do you want things to allocate? Where do you want your money to go? The vegetation
Yeah,
thing,
survey out. Normal. Send a survey. No, that's a normal. And the survey, following the survey is the budget. It's proposed based on the survey. And then the annual budget is proposed. How that money is appropriate. Again, that causes animus when you pick 2 or 3 projects. A lot of folks don't have children. So
That's why-
even though that $70,000 may be important to folks that have children.
Right, that's how we would vote.
Right, that's the point.
yeah, that's what we brought up.
But you gotta find,
Anyway, whether you have children or not, because ultimately you want the neighborhood to look nice.
And for the new neighbors to
I'm-
move in,
I'm agreeing
that will
with
have
you.
children.
All I'm saying is, I'm talking about, I'm not saying that, I think what the homeowner association is do is called procedural protocol. Whatever we do, it has to be done. Take a look at how they do these things in the city. This is the young lady here talking about getting the loan. That may be an option, but I know there's difficulties for a profit to get a loan. Someone gets a way of working around that if someone decide. I'm just saying this, to keep the elements down, you choose 3 projects, just ask the people. You wanna know what people want to do, just send a survey out. It's simple thing to do. It's a very simple.
I love Chatter because it's, you know, it's a lot of good ideas, but here's a wild idea. I mean, so shoot it down, but what if, you know, I thought it was good for us to not leave the neighborhood in the worst condition that I've found it, and just keep everything at the same level. If there's a playground, there should always be a playground. If there's a doctor, should always, right. But now we're in this financial fix. So what about this? This is a wild idea. How about we get rid of the playground, plant some grass, and convert it into maybe like a covered area where people can, you know, take the what is that? The grill out of the pool area, put it over there, put a gate between the pool area and that area where you sit down and eat, put some tables, cover things. It should be a whole lot less expensive than 70 grand, but it's like an area where you can eat. Instead of eating in there, you can eat over there, covered, gate to go in and out, grass growing, which costs nothing, no rubber mulch, and just be grass all the way from all the way over there to over there. And just we have to tell the community, due to financial shortages, we had to convert this to this. We're so sorry, but we'd love to keep the playground, but it's too expensive to maintain. And this and to keep things rolling, we're offering a replacement. I mean, you know,
Basically, fourth choice on the survey
On the
sheet.
survey.
Well, I mean, but it's not a bad
It is a choice.
Definitely not out of deal.
no, but kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Keep a swing.
I literally saw that.
Keep
When
a
I,
swing.
when I
Joe.
said
Keep a
that,
swing.
I said we could keep
I love
the
a
swing,
swing.
though. Just update the
Oh,
swing.
yeah, definitely keep the.
I literally thought like, okay, playground down, but then I see most of the kids just swinging now. So
I
I'm like,
swing on a swing.
I. Keep that to yourself.
There's no
Understand
mulch
that.
there. We don't have any, that's grass over there, grass and dirt.
Just put grass.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Why can't
Did you
the
expand?
sliding door?
Well,
It
there's
do seem like they could.
I mean, if you remove the sliding door.
Survey out.
I said, why can't you just, I don't wanna say,
Yeah.
remove the sliding board,
Yeah.
put another sliding
Yeah,
board
they do
there,
bolts.
Or
which
some,
is only,
Well, I guess it depends on company wide.
That's the-
True.
They don't make the.
that particular slide. That whole thing, though,
Take it off and sell it.
which is another one, which is only probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about, I would say about $12,000. To have it, well, to get a good one and have
Put
it.
it there,
And put it
regardless
there,
if
put
it's
it
gonna
there.
match the whole thing, just
Well, they got bacon grill and they need to do.
How
put that
about
there.
the-
I mean, now you can work on multiple projects.
Or loud standing sliding board.
Another,
Take
I,
that whole thing down.
another idea would be if we were going to get rid of the playground area equipment, what if we did an extension so that it could be like a clubhouse? And that way we could profit or get money coming in. For example, if somebody had a birthday or an anniversary or something like that, that they could have meetings or gatherings in there, but there would be a fee to use it.
Yeah.
That way, we're not just dishing out money, we'd have money coming in.
But won't we have to dish out a good, a couple,
Well, I mean, at first,
tens of thousands to build it?
Yeah, to build a clubhouse, yeah,
You have
that's,
to extend this.
And they were doing that since 2005, which is good. It's a long-term project, not like short-term and long-term.
You wanted to
project.
do that back then, right?
But it's good. I mean, you could build that over off of this, really. It's a long-term project that would generate revenues for the subdivision. But every HOA that has tenure here has to set up a fund. It's gonna take a multiple years to do that. You're talking about over $100,000. That's not gonna happen anytime soon. It's a good thing to have. I think with the playground, to do away with the program, playground, my personal thing is to do away and to punish and penalize individuals who have families. And it would not be deemed as a family-friendly subdivision. When folks come here and want to move here and have children, and we are fortunate to get beyond it out here.
It's a
When I
fact.
came, I had my daughter.
To your point, when they put houses on the market here, they take pictures of that.
Yeah. And, we're not a senior citizen subdivision. And if you don't have things for children, that's my opinion. You don't have things for children, and if you have relatives visiting, they're limited and they come to the pool.
Well, how about we remove the playground temporarily, just until there is enough funds saved, let's say for the next 3 or 4 years. Until there is enough funds saved to be able to afford a really good one. And until then, we have what Rich recommended, but without building stuff there, covered porches and whatever, just grassy area with some of those movable children's equipment. You know how they have at the Children's Museum, they have things that like you put, like various,
You can put
or
that
the thing
there.
that you throw in the hall, you already have it.
Oh, the
Things
parties.
to play with, but not stationary, big, expensive equipment, which is still gonna be considered playground, but temporarily.
Can have a legal problem, because if you set up something for children, which it will be, and it does not meet, as the gentleman talked about, the standard, yeah, you're gonna end up with a lawsuit.
Didn't we buy the
Well, you-
ones that have our equipment?
Essentially, what you're doing is just like when you try to put the slow down barrier in the street. They make you take those up.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And I'm saying when it comes to it, I'm telling you that from my experience, you cannot. You can set up that playground, but you have a liability. If the child gets hurt in that playground, you have put those items out and designated that area, because you're designating that area as a play area for children. But it's not an area that has been, same thing if you designated that deck over there as a place to fish off. But if they go over there right now, and that area is not to sue according to the permit, you gotta sue. So I'm just saying, you have to look at what the legal, you can do it, you might be able to do it, but you have to look to see have the attorney.
For me to playground
Yeah,
style.
if you can set it up. I'm saying that it can't, but I'm saying it's liability. You have to look at it.
That's a question we have to ask the lawyer. I don't have that answer at all. It'll be just like what we asked the lawyer about the dock, so it'll be the same thing, just asking what we can and cannot do. Just like with the pool, you know, we gotta have that yearly inspection for a commercial pool, so we have to pass all the compliances with that as well, the county, so that's something else we gotta follow.
Do you have to have, say, commercial playground? Or can you go to Costco and buy one of them big ones for $2,500 and pay somebody to put it together?
It's commercial because it's built for, public.
Yeah, that's true.
Then you have to have a special pool, the flooring.
It's, it all comes down, yeah, it all comes down to the fine print in the county, what you can and can't do, like, we have to change the flooring out because of the weight and how old the flooring is, it's just so much red tape, you think it's,
Yeah,
you think you're free,
building
but you're really
code.
not.
Building
Yeah.
code will tell you whether,
It's, I mean, to be honest, it's kind of, I mean, not ridiculous, but it all comes down to safety. And what they deal with safe, what they consider safe is not what we consider safe, but we have to follow the rules. But that's really what's the red tape, like, yeah, we could put, literally, before you start looking at this, I thought we could just buy the playground and slap that joker right back on top, and then when I started digging into it, they're like, no, sorry. I mean, what else we gotta do? They're like, we gotta do this, that, this sounds like crap. It's too much. It's like, well, how much is this gonna run me? Yeah. And I do know, like, the loan portion, that's not even the hard part of being loaned by the HOA. It's just, do I wanna put that on top of the homeowner that we have to have a payment on top of everything else that not everybody pays for?
You only got half paid.
Exactly. So I do want to, that'll be another financial thing that we have to make every month to make sure we make that payment.
You could get a couple of shotguns and go flex and people aren't paying.
You be the president of that committee.
Understand, I have cancer, I have lung cancer and I have brain cancer, so I can get away with anything.
Oh, my Lord. You sound like a mama. Are we voting for that? 'Cause I need to get ready to go. Are we voting?
No,
No, we don't have quorum.
Yeah, you have to go to work. I know.
Okay, so
Yeah.
can you just ask for suggestions of what they want to be put on?
Oh, yeah, correct, yeah, so I'm gonna add we're gonna do a survey, we're gonna push out the survey. I think that's the best thing to do, right? Send it out to the mail, also social media for people that look at their phone. On top of that, suggestions, if you guys send suggestions in, and then we'll have, on the survey, I'll probably just have a suggestion box or a suggestion comment, and then we'll just drop it off back where we can pick it all up.
Don't we have a black box out there, like a drop box right there?
Yeah, we have a.
Yeah, you can shove back in that mailbox.
Yeah, it's secure, it's a secure mailbox.
That's what they're like a postcard type.
Yeah,
Have
just
people
drop
check
it in.
what they want and drop it
Right,
in.
just drop in what we want, and then perfect. The county thing for the Comcast and county, I'll figure that out, because I have the county coming out next week to work on my cloud.
We're on, it's a Comcast box between 188 and 186. You'll see where it's over in the hole.
That way I can work on that as well. Oh, if you guys have any light posts, not like these, but light posts that are out on your roads and stuff, that's county as well. To be honest, just hit me up or just hit up the HOA and we'll put in a request and they're out there within 2 or 3 days to fix the lighting.
They do good. In our shirts all good and well lit, and when it's not, they say.
Yeah, a homeowner let me know. It was actually on our street. I was out there. Georgia Power was out there too. But, you know, it's fixing, so definitely it's good. Yeah, it sucks that we're able to go, but please put the word out. We're doing that. We're gonna try to get these votes in.
How many-
Change up the board.
How many people you need to do so?
19.
On your loan, if you're gonna take loan now. Certain number of homeowners
Yeah, you know,
that So we can't, it's not the number here.
Yeah, no,
Right,
So
right.
it's like the 2/3 vote that we want to
it's gonna
do.
be very, it's like that.
Impossible.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. You get
If you
2/3.
go, it is, I think, the thing, in my opinion, again. There's always gonna be a form of individuals like myself, who's gonna be one of the things is that homeowners here, those who've been here for a while. There's so much going on. It's going to take individuals, a campaign of individuals going to the building and talking to them.
They don't open the door, man. A couple weeks ago,
That doesn't work anymore. That doesn't change over time.
there was a free event with food. What was it called? Summer, like,
Yeah.
summer thing.
But I will do, listen, I got you, I will
We
do.
give out flyers to invite people to pack free food. They wouldn't open the door.
There's a new group, there's an old group here as well. And I think there's different factions. Everybody has factions. You have some factions. Everybody has that this different factions of homeowners that respond. Different jobs you work on. It's not going to take. I couldn't reach everybody out, but I'm sure that if I'm not going to do it, I can reach anywhere between 30 to 40 homeowners who I talk to all the time. I've always been in contact with. I said it going to door to door. It has to be a team approach. That's what's wrong with Willow. No different than the Republican Party, Democratic Party. You got different functions. This is politics, whether you know it or not. You may not agree with it. You got different factions out there. It's always going to be that way. On your job, you have different factions on your job. So until the factions come together and people stop, we want different things. I don't probably want what you guys want, but I do want stability. And so we don't want to listen to other people's ideas. There's about 30 or 40 people, at least those 30, 40 people who are associated with different groups out here. If we stop backbiting one another, you can bring the whole group out and get enough votes, get your loan. Now, I'm saying that because it's been done before. It's been done before. Some of you, doesn't mean, it's up to you what you want. I'm willing to go and bring who I want. I don't want to participate or be on the board. Got too many things to do. But I am concerned because I see what this community has been a big one. So it's going to take that. The problem is sometimes, I'm just being honest, we don't want to hear one another because we don't like what the person has said or we don't like their approach. But remember, there's 30 people out here that like that person's approach. There's 30 people out there that like you. And if I say something about you, those other people are not showing fear. And that's what's going on. If you really want to look at, we keep saying, and I hear this every year, people don't want to come out. They don't want to. It's really not true. People just don't like what they experience.
This board has been nothing but friendly and open to discussions and.
I'm in agreement with that.
So, I don't.
But see, I'm in agreement with you. We're saying that. Right?
Very nice, because you're making it seem like we're all mean people.
No, I don't mean to. Let me correct myself because okay.
You say it better.
Let me correct myself. You feel that way because anybody.
Very feel that.
Okay, well, anybody that knows me, I'm not that way. I'm an administrator. I get to the point. I'm not one to, that's just me. That's just me. I run a business. This is what I do. I go in, I deal with facts, I deal with processes, I deal with facts. I don't deal with personality. And what I'm telling you is, or I'm saying to you, this is probably the lucky to come today. This is the reality of Willow Lake. This is not people in here. It's not about people trying. I'm not saying anything personal against you. I'm telling you what the facts are, what people are talking about, what Miss Sanders talks about. People that call me, I'm telling you, I'm just conveying to you what people say.
That's your perception.
That's the perception, but it's not about whether you,
That's
when
not
I,
everything.
so, and I was doing a good job.
That's your perception and.
Yeah, and the people who are with, let me just say this, it's my perception,
Right.
just like it's your perception, me and you saying that you're doing a good job, and I believe you are. But the perception, as I'm trying to convey, that's why I didn't put it down today,
Okay.
of the perception, even when I was on the board. People
Saying,
thought that I did,
people get upset, they should just come to a meeting, they have. a
well,
chance.
I'm trying to tell you, you're saying that they should.
No, they should, they should, they
But the
should.
reality is, this is what I'm saying, it's the difference between,
That's what I'm saying, the reality is they don't show up.
thank you, they don't, and I'm telling you why they don't
That's.
show up.
Because it's so old, people are out there,
Yeah,
remember,
Before, correct, before when I used to come here, this starts when that.
yeah, but that's been over for
That's the
so
fact.
many
It's
years.
over, but how do you get to go?
Yeah, that's.
You just leave it that way?